Welcome to PhDizzle. I'm your host, Alice Chang, and today I am interviewing Dr. Tonke de Jong, who got her PhD in biomechanical engineering from TU Delft and is currently part-time postdoc at PhDizzle Hospital and also founder of Dr. Toonka, which is an academic support platform. And one of the great things about doing this over Zoom is that you're, on the other side of the world and we can still chat. I really want to learn a little bit more about your platform. It's how I found you. But before we go into that, I want to learn about biomechanical engineering and how you chose that path. And, you did a PhD, so you're really into it. So tell me a little bit about your PhD and how you chose to pursue a PhD.
Yes, I am really into biomechanical engineering. Actually, I am a medical engineer. So I did my bachelor in the northern part of Holland. And I didn't really know that I wanted to become an engineer because, I don't know, I think I didn't have many role models, like female role models who were engineers. So I just didn't thought of it basically. And then I started with my bachelor, which was kind of broad. It had broad topics, and then I could narrow down, and I noticed that I started to miss mathematics and all these engineering courses.
Oh wow.
So after my bachelor, I thought I really have to do something with this. So that's when I did my master's in Delft University of Technology, TU Delft. And it really is a technical university, and I really wanted to go there to become more technical and become a real engineer. And for me, it was also very nice that when you are an engineer, you can really see the things that you're working on, or at least in my case, the topics that I work on, I can really see it. I worked on needles for interventional radiologists in the hospital. And you can really see the product that you want to improve. And that was for me a big plus compared to more the biomedical sciences when you work on cell cultures or DNA, which is also very important and very interesting. But for me, it's super nice as an engineer that you can really work on things that you can see with your eye.
So you ended up doing a PhD from your master's, which requires a lot of research. And first of all, I've never heard anybody say that they missed math. So that's interesting. So you got your math and you're working with things that you can see. So you transitioned into your PhD. Tell me about, did it take a long time? Like, were you in the lab a lot? What kind of work were you doing?
Yeah, so I did my master's, and then I did my master graduation project in a very nice lab with very nice kind of colleagues they were already, and it felt really good. And then at the end, I was like doubting if I wanted to do a PhD or not. So I didn't know, but I thought, okay, maybe only if I can stay in this lab, because I really know that I'm into this research topic here. I really liked it. I liked the people, the supervisory team, but they didn't have a position. So I thought, okay, let's move on. I'm going to do something different. So I got interviews to work as a medical engineer in the hospital, and I thought this is fine. But then when I was on holidays, I got this email from my master thesis supervisor writing me, Tonke, we have a position. Would you like to take the job, or the PhD position in Holland? It's a job, PhD. So I was like, oh, and I was already in my second round for the interviews as a medical engineer in the hospital. And I was like, what do you have to do? What do you have to do?
Oh, wow.
So I was a little doubting then, but in the end I thought, no, it just felt right. Let's do this. And I also thought, if I don't do it now, I'm probably not ever going to do it again.
Yep.
This whole PhD. So I could stay with my master's thesis team, and it was just right. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so happy that happened. Sometimes things just things just work out,
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And I just really like the topic. I think it's super nice because I worked, we really design in my department at my PhD, we really design new instruments that can help doctors operate more easily. And I think that's so cool.
Yeah. And so now transitioning into part of what you do now, which is your postdoc, and you do work in a clinical setting. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yes.
Is it related to your grad school research?
Not really, because I really wanted to experience how this clinical research is, because we were working on topics during my PhD, which were kind of related to the hospital, and I also had contact with medical doctors, but still there was this distance, because I was working at the university and I really had to actively contact the medical doctors to get into contact with them and to discuss my research and such. So I thought it would be very nice to be actually in the hospital, like having medical doctors as my colleagues, and discuss the research with them. So that's what I do now. So I have medical doctors. Actually, they are nuclear medicine physicians.
Wow.
I work at the nuclear medicine department in Isala Hospital. And it's super nice to have these type of colleagues who really know everything about the clinic, and they immediately tell you if you are maybe researching something that is not, that you cannot practice in clinic, for example, Mm-hmm. So that's the whole new thing, and I think it's super interesting as well, and I learn a lot from it. And basically we are now looking into new digital PET scanners for patients with cancer.
Okay.
And we compare these PET scanners with older PET scanners to see if it really has added value for patients with cancer. So it's super nice.
So you get to work, so this is like a project that you're working on like independently, but you get input and support from like the broader clinical community.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, and you were also telling me earlier that you get to work from home. So do you actually have to go into the hospital?
Yes, not now anymore, but I had. Yeah, so I started 1.5 years ago, and then I had to go into the hospital to also make sure that the patients got their scans.
Okay.
But now all patients are done with the scans, and I don't need this specialized software anymore that is only in the hospital. So what I do now is wrapping up all the research data, writing the papers, and I can do that from home. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So so this project it looks like it's coming to completion. Is there then more like a different project to go into after, or other things to explore?
Well, there will be definitely, but I think for me, it's time to move on to the next project.
So this is your like clinical research life, and you have another life that is very tied into, what you were doing in academia too, but also very different than the type of research you do now. So you founded a platform called Dr. Tonka. Tell me what that is.
Yeah, I'm really enthusiastic about it. It's my business, Dr. Tonke, and I started, I think, this platform on Instagram, I think 3 years ago or something like that, or maybe a little bit less, I think around 2 years ago. And it was because I bought a house in Spain. So I'm Dutch, I'm from the Netherlands, but I bought a house in Spain. And it was during the last phase of my PhD. And I went there on and off to really write on my PhD dissertation. And it was amazing. So I thought, this is something that other people need to experience as well. And that's when it started. I thought I have to make other people know that you can come to Spain, write your thesis, like don't focus on all the other things. So that was the idea. Then I started my Instagram page, but then Corona came, of course. So I thought, no, this is not the time to start academic writing weeks. It's super weird because people are in their homes, of course. And I thought there must be so many PhD students now, like locked up in their rooms without family. So maybe I can create support groups for these PhD students come together and talk about different topics. So that's when it really got into shape. There were many people who were interested, so I got several groups, and we really helped each other, and they also kind of shaped the digital PhD groups with me. And then I think Dr. Tonke was really born, and it started to develop more and more. And now what I really want to do with Dr. Tonke, or what I really do with Dr. Tonke, is to help PhD students become confident and independent researchers. And I do that by giving workshops, but also by my online PhD Academy. And in the near future, I'm going to organize these academic writing weeks.
Okay, that's awesome. So talk to me a little bit more about I'm a PhD student. I just started my PhD. So at what point would I, come to one of your workshops or listen to one of your seminars?
Yeah, well, I think I have different options now. First option is the PhD Starters Kit. So I think that's an option that's really, really easygoing for all PhD students who are about to start or are in the first or second year. It's really about all these different topics that you really need to master, right? Academic writing, academic publishing, but also presentation skills for academics. So that's the first thing, I think. And then I have more specialized courses in my PhD Academy. And the first course is finished now, which is how to publish. And we really dive into all the specific aspects of how to publish your first academic paper. And then I think the academic writing week is more when you are really into writing already. So when you're a bit further along your PhD.
Okay. And so the topics are very core to what you experienced and learned when you were in academia, but the type of presentation is different. So it sounds like there may be videos, there may be like a book or something like that, but it kind of requires publishing skills and marketing skills and video creation skills. So how did you learn all that? How did you even think to, put together a workshop or a course? Where did you learn?
Yeah, it's like a whole new world for me indeed. But what I really like and what I really love to do since I was young already, I think, is teaching. I'm from a teaching family. So my grandmother was a teacher, and my sister is a teacher. So it's really in the family. And I think it's great to help other people. So when I was young, I gave sailing lessons and stuff. I know how to teach. And also during my PhD, I taught a lot, like master courses, but also I was supervisor for master thesis students. So I really developed myself in teaching along over the past couple of years. And so I had that skill, but I didn't have any video skills or marketing skills, or I don't know, but I also loved theater. So that helps as well, I think. And I love presenting. But the first time I was making a video, for example, or like a story on Instagram, it felt super awkward. And I was like, I think you must recognize this. Like you see yourself back on video and you're like, oh no, I have to do it another time. I have to do it again and again and again. But after a while, it doesn't really matter anymore. You're like, I'm myself.
Yeah.
And I can show myself, and it's fine. Even if I say sometimes, or I'm thinking about what I want to say, it's fine to be a human. So I think that's a skill that you just learn by doing. And then marketing was a whole new thing, because of course I only worked in academia, which is really non-business-like. And now I also have to make money, of course, with my business. So I decided to follow a course on that. So I'm now in a kind of a marketing group, and they also have different courses. And it's super nice to learn again and to study again a new topic. Wow. And it's super nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, you sound like a lifelong learner.
Yes, I definitely am. Yeah, but I think many PhDs, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of weird
Yeah.
when you grad. Well, it's kind of weird when you graduate because you've just your whole life you've been in this like rigorous academic environment where you're like studying and retaining information, and all of a sudden it's just like over. And you know, you're
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah.
do I just like take my own classes now? It's like super weird
Yeah.
to transition. Yeah. So I hear you. I mean, I think it's so cool that you're building this platform and you're helping other students
Yeah.
too. You were mentioning earlier, and this maybe ties into what you like to do on the side or for fun. But you were mentioning earlier, this all started because you bought a home in Spain. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I bought a townhouse in Spain with my boyfriend. I think 3 years ago, we had the idea to go and travel. So we saved money. We really took the time to save money. And yeah, I also really love Spain. I love the culture. I love the people, the nature. And then, yeah, the houses here are, compared to Holland, they're really cheap. And we found out that we, instead of traveling, might buy a house in Spain. And that's what we did in the end. So
Wow.
we bought a townhouse and we completely renovated ourselves. So we watched all these YouTube videos to know how we could do tiling and I don't know, things with the plumbing and stuff. And now it's really super nice. So yeah, I love do it yourself as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and is that the house that you're now going to be doing these workshops in, or is that's separate?
That's separate. Yeah, I just book a separate home, which is like a really big home suitable for 10 people. Yeah. So it's a different home, but it's really nearby. I think it's like 300 meters from my own home here.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. You're no longer in the Netherlands. You've permanently moved to Spain.
Yeah, we don't really know yet because we kept our house in Holland and we rent it out. So for the time being, yes, I am in Spain, but we're not sure if we are really going to live here forever. It's just a very nice period to feel how it is.
Yeah.
And then we decide. Yeah.
Yeah. And it probably also depends on, you know, like the world maybe going back to office and if you need to find a job in person.
Yes, of course, because Corona changed a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, we also have to see if we can earn enough money here. So yeah, exciting times, I think.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully your business takes off and then you can do whatever you want and live wherever you want. You can buy properties all over Europe. Actually, that would be really fun to have these like houses all over Europe, and then you can host the workshops to like live there.
Oh, let's do it in Italy.
Yeah.
No, let's do it. No, yeah, that would be fun.
Awesome.
But I don't think that's going to be that it's going to be like that.
All right. So you're pretty busy because you have your own business.
Yeah.
You also, you know, work part-time as a postdoc. So are there, you know, on nights and weekends, if you have free time, what do you like to do?
Well, I really like to go out with my friends. I really like to cook together with my friends.
Yeah.
And I also I have a dog, a small dog, since 9 months.
What kind of dog?
Yeah. Well, a typical Dutch dog, actually. A kooiker hondje.
I don't know what that is. I'll have to look it up.
She's not very big. She's 12 kilos.
Aww.
And very soft, and she's super nice. Very energetic, but I really love to walk with her in nature. I really like that. And I also like to go to the beach during my weekends because it's really nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 5 kilometers. So yeah, it's very nearby. Yeah.
Great.
So yeah.
Spain sounds like it has really good nightlife too, because if you do, they do the siesta still. They siesta and they like party all night.
Yeah, they definitely do it here. Yeah, the siesta is kind of sacred here, I think, in southern part of Spain. Also during winter, because it's winter time now, but they still have the siesta, which is nice for me because I work like general Dutch office hours, which is like 8:30 till 5-ish. And then all the shops open again here in Spain. So I can go for shopping or for do a drink after work. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
For me, it's perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
And in terms of like food, is it really, I mean, I know you said you like cooking, but is it also great restaurants and great food nearby?
Yes, definitely. Especially the coffees are very good. So that's nice. And also they have jamon, like ham, but like it's like cured ham.
Is it like super prosciutto?
Yeah, so sort of. Yeah, but then the Spanish version.
The Spanish, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but comparable, yes. And they also have like very nice cheese. So yeah. I'm happy. Very nice olives as well. And when you have like, I don't know, you have Barcelona here. And then you have here the border with France. And then I'm here.
Oh.
Like really, you cannot go more really south.
Yeah.
So
really
when you're at the beach and it's a clear day, you can even see Africa.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like really the most southern part of Spain. Yeah.
You can go sail over.
Yeah. There are boats going to Morocco.
I was gonna say, yeah. I have something correct about geography.
Yeah, Morocco. It's so important as a PhD student to be not afraid to ask for help, because I really think that it's needed, because sometimes most PhD students who are in their graduate school or at their university, they don't get offered any additional guidance, and sometimes supervisors are just not available or not really good in guiding their PhD students. So yeah, that's something I would like to mention, that I think it's so important and so much needed.
Yeah, and I think it's hard especially for PhD students, because they're used to like they're very just like high performing people, and so to be in an environment where like they don't know, they're like, I think I'm supposed to know, but I don't know.
So sometimes it's very hard to reach out, and I think that's something that many PhD students can learn, to reach out a little bit more often.
Yeah, and I think what you're doing, even just like building the community, is really helpful, because you can ask other students like, you know this, and it's like nobody knows. PhDizzle.
Having fun with smart people who do cool things.